Hi all, Gabo X here for My Little Investigations. So, welcome. This is the My Little Investigations panel. I hope that you're in the right place. We'll go through a quick round of introductions, then we'll go over the quick agenda, and then we'll jump right into it. So I am Gabo X. I'm the creative director on My Little Investigations.
I am Trot Pilgrim, and I'm the composer for My Little Investigations.
And I'm Pony Tim, and when I'm not busy directing the media of a convention, I make field character animations for My Little Pony video games.
All right, so a quick primer for people who are unfamiliar with My Little Investigations. The quickest way to explain it is to say that it's basically Ace Attorney investigations with ponies in Equestria. If you're not familiar with Ace Attorney, however, basically it's a logic puzzle type game where at the start of each case, a crime is committed, and typically speaking, there will be some pony, I should say, who is accused of this crime, but who is innocent of it, and with her investigative abilities, Twilight Sparkle must investigate the crime scene, interrogate witnesses, and eventually confront the ultimate suspect. If you've been following us, you may notice that there has not been a lot of updates on our website for quite a while, but we've been hard at work. It's mainly just that we've reached the point where we can't show you too much without having it be a spoiler, but we have amassed a fair amount of new content that we'd like to show to you to whet your appetites and show you that stuff is still happening. So if you're not familiar with it, the first case basically has Scootaloo being framed for a jewel theft. So we'll go through the opening cutscene and then we'll talk a bit more about that. But first, before we do that, you may notice when you click New Game, there's now a case selection screen. This is where official cases will go. And I might as well come out and say this is the space where fan-created cases will go. So. Get your creative juices going, because we do in fact have a case editor that will be coming at some point in time in the future. But for now, let's get started with the first case. If you've been following us for a while, a lot of this first bit will be familiar, but then we'll quickly get into stuff that is new.
Find it! It's here somewhere! Get ready! Too dark. Can't see it. Yes! That's a thing called mouse! Aha! Found it! Finally! Let's get out of here!
Skepticism? Well, I shall have to know that last night I became a victim. A tragic victim. Woe is me. I shall never recover what is injured has been wrought upon me.
English, Rarity.
And this
and stole both true blue, a large sapphire she had recently acquired when gem hunting, and an opal, which is her cat.
Oh, good thing. Oh, bad thing. Oh, my poor darling. Oh, no, there were those rabbits.
I'm gonna go ahead and hope that she was talking about a cat there. What happened? Do you have any idea who did this?
Well, no. I'm afraid we haven't the slightest idea.
Ponyville doesn't really have much of a police force, you see, so we are a little under-equipped to handle something like this. This doesn't happen very often, you know. An investigative team from Canterlot has agreed to look into it, but I'm afraid they won't be here.
Days! But the thieves might be long gone by then, and... Wait, is this the same investigative team as last time?
Exactly what happened last time? I can't seem to recall.
The one brought in to investigate the baby that went missing and which ended up being found unharmed in the closet?
Ah, yes, I do recall that, but I'm not sure where you're going with.
The one that somehow managed to implicate Pinkie Pie in a fictional Dragon X smuggling ring?
Well, yes. Yes, that's the one. Think positive, Twilight. They may, perform better this time. Yes, that's the ticket. Well, there's not much for it either way, Twilight. After all, no pony in our town has any experience with this sort of thing. We'll just have to wait it out. Oh, I have so much to do at the moment. I simply can't stay around any longer. We'll get to the bottom of this as soon as that investigative team arrives, Rarity. You have my word.
I'm afraid she's right, Gina. We shall simply have to wait it out.
If that investigative team gets their hooks on this case, who knows what ridiculous things they might come up with this time? There has to be a better way. Rarity, on the
Pardon, Twilight?
Some pony needs to get to the bottom of this, right? Well, I volunteer. I've had experience investigating crime before, after all.
Twilight, I'm really not sure if that's such a grand idea.
Well, I mean, sure. That particular investigation pretty much involved completely airtight evidence that directly identified the culprits in one go. And it also included an eyewitness who saw almost everything who could lead me exactly to the clues. But it's not like the team from Canterlot was much better, right?
Forgive me, Twilight, if your words do not inspire a great deal of confidence.
It'll be fine. Don't you worry, Rarity. I'll have this case wrapped up in a jiffy. Mystery novels came through for me then, so should I go for us again? Pinkie, where in Equestria did you come from?
And if you need help in the game, every now and then Pinkie Pie will show up to teach you the ropes.
What are you doing?
Obviously the silence will be, or the quietness will be fixed in the final release. Sorry about that.
I'm the one who knows something about investigations, not you. Remember what happened last time? What?
Back to the rescue.
You're talking to
game, was it not?
That's one way to describe it.
But useful, what did you say?
I'm sorry.
I don't believe that it is a...
Clearly, this is not ready to be released.
Don't worry, Verity. I'll get to the bottom of this before that investigation team even gets here.
Okay, so that basically gives you a broad overview of the general premise of the game. Since the demo has been out for a while, I do want to get to some new stuff, so I'll just very briefly go through the basics of the game. I should note that one thing of note is that if you already know how to play the game, and I do, you can turn Pinkie Pie off, and she'll stop interrupting you every 2 minutes or so in the start of the game. But of course, if you want to listen to her, then you can always turn her on. But for now, we'll leave her off. So basically, to play the game, it's a lot like Ace Attorney Investigations. Like I said, you walk around and you examine evidence. So, for example, we have a broken window here, and we have tire marks. So that seems interesting. So we can take a look at that by clicking on it.
Well, it doesn't take a sharp eye to see that these are tire marks. And it doesn't take a sharp wit to figure out that whoever was here probably was the cause of this broken window, too.
And so anything that is interesting is added to your evidence list, which is basically your list of weapons to use in interrogations and confrontations to basically prove that your opponent is not being 100% truthful.
Is there anything else here? Is this hair?
And you can also talk to ponies as well to find out more information about whatever is going on. And so when you do this, you're presented with topics of dialogue. So let's click on this one and see what Rarity has to say about it.
Rarity, I think we should start with what happened last night.
Of course, darling. What would you like to know?
Could you describe exactly what happened and what you saw?
Well, I'm afraid there isn't much to tell. I was sleeping in my bedroom when suddenly I heard a shrill crash from downstairs. I went downstairs to investigate, and what did I find but my house all returned and ransacked, my prized jewel gone, and my beloved opal essence missing as well. Oh, opal, that was coming soon.
Perhaps I should ask more specifically about what was stolen.
And as you talk to them, you can sometimes find other things to talk to as well.
And that was everything there is to speak of? You saw nothing else at all?
No, nothing, I'm afraid. So sorry, Twilight.
That sounded awfully suspicious. Rarity, are you hiding something?
And sometimes people will not exactly be forthright with things. In that case, you basically need to come back and present evidence to them that shows that is the case. Unfortunately, we don't currently have the evidence that we need for this, so we pretty much are at an impasse here. So let's go elsewhere. Oh, this looks interesting.
A piece of cloth. Red on one side, gold on the other. I think I know what this is from.
In addition to unlocking things, you can also present evidence to ponies around town who might know things about it. In this particular case, Rarity is about the only pony around, so you might as well ask her about this.
Oh, I remember this little problem.
You do?
Of course! Apple Bloom came by this morning to have this little accident fixed up. She seemed to have ripped her cape during one of her usual excursions. I asked her why she didn't just get Sweetie Belle to fix it up, but she said that Sweetie Belle was very busy today and couldn't spare any time to do so. I really don't know what those feelings are up to, but on the other hand, perhaps it's better I don't know. I swear, sometimes I don't understand myself. Sweetie Belle asked my braids, my gold silk, and now here I am, fixing the capes they made with it. I'm an odd sort. Do you think I'm odd, Twilight?
Oh, Rarity. I think you just have a big heart.
Don't remind me, Twilight. Sometimes it can be a bit tiresome.
So this belonged to Apple. And she had it fixed this morning.
to someone who knows something about evidence, that evidence can be updated to give new information. In this particular case, we learned that this is Apple Bloom's Cutie Mark Crusader's cape, and that was fixed by Rarity this morning. In the full game, you'll be told that you can find Apple Bloom in the town square, but for right now, I'll just use my spidey sense to figure that part out.
Can you do that for me, Sweetie Belle? At least until this all blows over.
Gasp, mystery.
Of course. Leave it to me, Apple Bloom. See ya.
I wonder what those two are talking about. Official Cutie Mark Crusader business tape? Might as well have a chat with Apple Bloom while she's here.
Apple Bloom is the first example of a pony for whom we will find an interrogation, which is where the pony is not being truthful about something, and you need to basically present evidence proving that that's the case and get the truth out of her. So in this case, we'll talk to this one since that unlocks the interrogation.
So, did you hear about what happened to Rarity last night?
Yeah, that was an awful thing to happen to her.
Well, don't worry. I'm on the case. And I promise you that I'll find the one who broke that window and stole from her.
Oh, good luck with that. Hope you have real good luck there.
That was an odd response. Apple Bloom, you wouldn't happen to know anything about what happened, would you?
Huh? Course not. Why would you think I'm not telling you something, huh?
Because you just told me that you're not.
So now we have the first interrogation, and we'll have a look at that.
Okay, Apple Bloom. Time to find out what you're hiding. Apple Bloom, I need to ask you about where you were around the time of the crime. No, I just need to know. Procedure and all. That makes sense, right?
Sure, I guess. I wasn't in the uniform yesterday.
So in the body of the interrogation is a lot like cross-examinations in Ace Attorney, if anyone's familiar with that. Basically, you have a set of things that she says, and one of them contains something that doesn't mesh with a piece of evidence that you have, and you basically need to figure out what that is and present the evidence against it.
I had homework in school after that, so I was pretty much just doing that for the rest of the day. I certainly never told her to
In this case, the part where she's lying is a little obvious. We know that this Cutie Mark Crusader's cape was found in the general vicinity of the Carousel Boutique, so we'll present it.
Wait.
Mama, look, hey.
I wanted to give it, just like the real thing. Did it sound official?
You feeling alright? Oh, I bet the court can help with that.
Okay, I get it. I'm not a lawyer. Apple Bloom, I'm afraid to say that I don't think you're being honest with me here.
I could just say something.
Oh no, I'm not being guilt-tripped this time. I found a scrap of your case near the bridge to the Carousel Boutique. No, Apple Bloom, I'm afraid that one's not going far. I talked to Rarity earlier, and she told me that you had this fixed this morning. Your prized Cutie Mark Crusader's cape. Apple Bloom, come on. You can't tell me that you didn't get that fixed as soon as possible. It's okay, but please, I need you to tell me what you know. I can't hope that I don't know as much as possible.
So now, after you complete that interrogation, you now have a new thing that's added where you can basically get the information from Apple Bloom that you need. However, we would like to show some new stuff at this point, so we'll assume that Apple Bloom has told us all that stuff, and skip ahead a little bit. We now also have multiple save and load slots as well, which is a big help, especially for something like this convention. So let's skip ahead. Yep. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, I think this is it.
Restart. Find it. It's here somewhere.
Those penalties.
Too dark.
Excuse me for 1 second. I need to do some very quick surgery. Now we should be able to get somewhere. I'm sorry about that. All right, so. Okay, so here we are where we're supposed to be. So basically at this point in the game, obviously rarity is no longer here. We've advanced a little bit, and at this point we're able to go into Rarity's boutique. So let's do that and see what we find.
Rarity, did you clean up the boutique?
Why, yes, darling. It was a dreadful, awful mess. Just a few more bits and pieces to put in order, and it'll be good as new.
But it's a crime scene.
I know. Wasn't it terrible?
We need to get it back to now working condition. Rarity, you don't just clean up a crime scene. You need to leave the mess is so we can find evidence implicating the culprit.
Sorry.
Oh, right. I suppose that would make sense.
Forget it. Let's see if there's anything of note left.
Well, there's basically one thing in this room, so let's have a look at it.
This tool was mine yesterday, right?
I should say not. I certainly wouldn't clean that up if you never did. Like it was about to.
Down, Mary. Resist the urge. Let it be dirty for one day.
If you insist, I shall do my best.
But I don't see anything else. Is there really nothing left to look at in here? No offense, but this tool isn't going to do much.
Well, if you've only looked into it, I might be able to help with that.
Really? How?
Do you recall that gem finding spell that I taught you a little while ago, Tyler? Well, I just so happen to have been improving it to find other things that are easily overlooked. I tell you, Twilight, that has been invaluable keeping everything in good working condition around the boutique. I used to spend so long finding all the little things I work with around here.
Well, that does sound useful. Okay, let's try it out.
So at this point, this is bringing back something that you may have seen a long time ago if you've been following our game for a while. This is Rarity has now become our partner. What that means is that she will be following us around, and we can use her special ability to find things that otherwise would be invisible to the naked eye. And to help us explain how it works,
Rudy's super duper looper super cool ability? I've been waiting so long to talk about it. Silly me. I thought I might actually get a tutorial so we can know something about the topic at hand. You know those crazy times when you're making cupcakes, but then you totally have to draw me with the egg timer? No? Well, I sure have, and let me tell you, they are not fun, Buster. But Rarity never has those problems, because once she turns on enthusiastic description.
Well, let's get to it.
So basically, to use her ability, you click this button, which activates her ability. And the way this ability works is more or less when there's something hidden on the ground that you can't see, it grows in intensity the closer you are to mousing over it. And when you finally find it, then you can click it and it reveals itself. And then you can have a look at it.
Huh? What's this? A bunch of small gems. Rarity, did thieves try to steal these too?
Well, no, actually. Those have been on that stool. I imagine they were knocked over with it. I had been trying to find them, though. Thank you, Twilight.
Never mind. This is an oddly shaped jewel. Seen this before?
No, I can't say I have.
Strange. Well, now I think that's about it for things to encounter here. Thanks. Say, I wonder if we missed anything else somewhere else. Verity, would you mind tagging along a little longer? That ability looks useful.
But of course, Twilight. Lead the way, my dear.
I should check elsewhere to see what we're missing. Perhaps outside the boutique to start.
And there is obviously something outside the boutique, but since we're running a bit short of time, let's skip to another section, this time showing confrontations, the last bit of gameplay to be demonstrated.
Scoodaloo, I have to ask you about last night.
Oh, last night?
Yes, last night. Or more specifically, where you were last night.
I don't know what you're talking about, Twilight.
Oh, I think you do, Scoodaloo. I've already talked to Applebloom about some of it.
Applebloom? What? What did you say, Twilight?
I know that you three were around that area practicing a comedy routine. So perhaps we should start there.
Is everything alright, Twilight?
Well, yes. It's just that right around here is usually when Pinky...
Hi!
Right on schedule.
Oh my gosh, Twilight, this is exciting! Finally come across a confrontation!
Uh-huh.
Now, these are all a whole lot like interrogations, except they're longer and cooler!
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, it'd be so terrible if some pony around here actually was told me something.
Basically, you're gonna see what I've seen multiple times. You gotta bring each of them to a conclusion before you finally get to the bottom of things. Kind of like how you gotta get to the middle and feel like you don't get this thing is filling.
Well, I can do that.
But here's a part that might be all wrong. Well, if you present the wrong evidence too many times, well, it's all over, Buster. That pony's never gonna tell you anything.
Wait, what? What do I do then?
Oh, well then you can start over. Well, yeah, just like try again from the screen, and the confrontation will start back over like nothing ever happened.
Pinky, I don't think conversations work that way.
Like, don't you even know this is well, good luck! I'm rooting for you. She always like that.
Yes. Yes, she is.
Oh, one other thing. You also can't leave or save the game once the confrontation starts.
Wait, what?
But don't worry, you can't start them when you don't have everything you need. Super convenient, right? Well, maybe not as convenient as they just tell you everything to start, but that'd be no fun at all. Okie dokie dokie, now that's everything. Bye!
I have everything I need for this? Well, that's a start, I guess. But now it's time to put everything together. Anyways, Scootaloo, about last night and your comedy routine.
It was supposed to be a secret.
So as she explained, basically confrontations are a lot like they're a lot like interrogations, except they're multiple different topics to talk about, and you have to get through all of them in one go, or else, well, you have to try again. I won't get too far into this because we are running rather short on time, but I'll get through the first one at least.
Just a minute. That's what happened when you started. What happened after you started? Were you just working on that routine? Nothing else?
Well, yeah. Can't do much else.
Can't see much out of place so far, at least. Alright. Do you think you could tell me what you did do?
After we got started, we got into our routine pretty heavily. Heck, we were working on it non-stop until we called it a night.
No, you weren't.
Wait a second. Not entirely non-stop, I'm afraid.
Huh?
I happen to know that you three took a break part of the way through your practice session.
Sorry.
Apple Bloom! What about it? Maybe we did take a break and I went out somewhere else. What about it? Doesn't mean anything. How much do you know where I was?
Oh, yes, we do.
Wait a second. Actually, I think I have a pretty good idea of where you were.
What? How?
I talked to Rarity earlier and learned that she witnessed an origin of the coming out the door after she discovered her home in ransom and her high school stolen. And I also found part of the scrimmage just outside the window to the peak. Not to mention there were tire tracks that looked suspiciously like your scooters, leading directly to that window. Sounding familiar yet, Scootaloo?
Wait, no! Can't say it is.
So, and you may notice up here, this number basically represents the number of contradictions you need to find before Scootle will finally give in and spill the beans.
What?
Come on, Twilight! None of that points to me! Listen to yourself! I jumped through a window to break in. I mean, that's gonna hurt! Not to mention make a lot of noise! And why in the world would I steal anything from some pony whose sister I'm friends with? That makes no sense! All you got is circumstantial evidence!
I don't know whether to be annoyed by her stubbornness or impressed by the fact that she correctly used the phrase circumstantial evidence. Stay cool, Twilight. You already know what you need.
So then basically once you complete that, then you get new topics to have a conversation with her on. And after you break all of these, then finally you'll learn the secrets that she's hiding. So that's basically it for the gameplay that we have showing. We have some time for a little bit of question and answer, and then we've got a special surprise at the end that we'll want to leave room for. So let's start with that. Yes.
Are you ever going to implement teleportation in game?
That is something that we've been considered. The number of times that I've been walking from one end of the thing to the other did get a little tiresome, so it may be something we will investigate before the end. May not be, but we'll see. Yes.
How many cases will be included when the game is launched?
At the moment, we're only working at them one case at a time. So when it's released, there will be the first case. But then after that case is done, then we'll go on to the second case, the third case, etc. So I don't think we have an exact number of cases, but yeah, there will be definitely more than one. Yes.
Does Rarity leave you in some part of the game?
Sorry, does she what?
Does she leave you?
Oh, you mean as your partner?
Yeah.
Well, you start the game with no partner, and then you gain rarity about a midways into the first case. And I believe she's actually with you until the end of the case at that point, but in later cases you may like swap out partners, have multiple partners and stuff like that.
How about that guy over there?
Are the sound effects always going to be so overpowering?
Yeah,
Or is that gonna be-
the leveling issues is definitely something we're aware of. The voices are too quiet. The voices are too quiet. The sound effects are too loud. And that's something we'll fix by the end. Yes.
So, you said that there'll be fan-made content possibly?
Yes.
So, how would that work out?
So basically, the first case will be released first and foremost, since that's what everybody has been waiting for a long time. But then after that's done, we'll be starting work on a case editor with a graphical interface, and basically you'll be able to give it your own graphics for backgrounds, for characters and stuff like that. You'll be able to define cutscenes, dialogue sequences and stuff like that. So basically you'll be able to make a case that looks like this one. And I believe we do plan on releasing the art assets from this to get people started.
That guy's had his hand up forever.
Which guy?
That guy. Two glasses.
So, are the cases going to be kind of one-offs, or are they going to be kind of connected with each other like they are in the Ace Attorney games, even if it's just in a small way?
They are planned to be individual stories,
Okay.
yeah. I haven't been following. Who's next?
Guy in red back there.
Are you gonna make any changes as to like, when you hit the button to continue their speech, it cut off like what they were saying, like here. Is that gonna be changed later? Or
Yeah, there's trade-offs in either direction regarding having it cut off or whether having it keep going. I imagine this is something that this would be easy to change either way, so I imagine when we get to the playtesting phase, we'll probably be figuring that out at that point in time.
but basically when you hit the button, it's basically almost like you're having the voices off.
Yeah.
When you want the voices on.
Right.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
Next.
Biggie over there.
When you make more cases, will you use the case editor yourselves and add new features to it as you need them?
Yes, we will be. We do plan to use the tools that we'll be releasing to third parties. So basically, any pain that users will feel will be felt by us as well. So we'll want to fix things as much as people want them fixed. So yes. Next.
You said we could add graphics. Will you have support for editing them? Like recolors and stuff?
Yeah, well, basically, the case editor will basically make it so you can define everything from the ground up. So like you can define a new character, you can provide that character's talking sprites, walking sprites, etc. So yeah, if you have a recolor you want to put in your custom case, yeah, you absolutely can do that. Next.
Guy with the crazy hair back there.
Do you have a plan in the event of a cease and desist letter?
Not really. Basically, we're using the game is rather strongly tied to the characters that we know. I mean, obviously, if we got one, we would abide by it and would figure out where to go from there. At the moment, we're not really too worried about that, but yeah, we'll see.
Well, might I suggest finishing out the editor, and then it could be any character game, investigation games.
Yeah, that would definitely be something that could be explored if that was to happen. Next.
Rainbow Dash.
Would Twilight be able to use telekinesis to find evidence or new locations?
We don't currently have any plans for Twilight herself to have different abilities. Basically, Twilight is the investigator who investigates things. She has partners who can help her out, but she more or less has to use her wits in terms of things that she does herself.
Yeah, got the blue shirt over there.
You guys, is there any time soon that you guys will be releasing like a public demo of the game?
Well, we already have a public demo on our website, equestriandreamers.com. It goes up until the first 2 interrogations in the game, so if you would like to give it a shot and you haven't played that already, go to our website. You can download it right now. That's equestriandreamers.com.
It's the last one, I think.
Yeah.
Jump in the back of there.
Will you be able to use your own JPEGs and PNGs for the pictures of people, or will they be from the game itself? For like when you're making your own case?
Say that again? I'm not quite sure I understand the question.
I think he basically wants custom art.
Oh yes, yeah. If all the stuff in the game is defined as just like PNGs. If you have your own custom art for like a character, then yeah, it absolutely will support that. All right. Well.
Yeah. We need to disclaim that the ending of the trailer we got to cut out.
Oh yeah. There's a bit of information at the end of this trailer that we forgot to edit out. So we will have to stop it shortly. But whoa.
Yeah. So we'll have to cut it at the last few moments, but.
And basically, this is just something to get you excited and hyped about the game.
Yeah, to drive you wild with all your wants.
And that's it.